So what brings you to court today?
I believe Miss Golpar was already pregnant when I met her in Mexico.
Okay, and how long ago was that?
That was 2 years ago.
Okay. And what is your response to this? Were
That's-
you already pregnant when you two met?
That's a big lie. That didn't happen. He's the papi of my baby. My baby called him papi because you are his papi. You are the papi. Your own clone call you papi.
I will have you know that you literally have called every guy you've met Papi.
Papi, that's my culture. Have you ever watched a novela? We call papi everybody.
That is true. I will say that is true. Yeah. So, all right. Tell me, how did you meet? And, how were things when you first met?
So, I met Miss Golpar, like I said, 2 years ago. And I was traveling to Mexico for a business trip with Disney. And the Disney Corporation, they take so many trips to Mexico. They're obsessed with it. I don't know, it's their thing. You got to ask Iger. But my point is, I met her at the front airport desk, and we hit it off real well. I was waiting for my suitcase to come. It had a Mickey Mouse doll in it, and for some reason, that was seen as contraband. So I was waiting at the front desk, and I hit it off real well with her. She told me that she was a waitress, and she worked at the airport as a side gig. And I asked, would you like to go for a drink? Because we seem to have a lot in common. We both love The Lion King, and we both hate Beauty and the Beast. And we really enjoyed our time together at the club, socializing, having drinks together. And so when I had to leave to go home back to California, she said, I can give you my number if you want to keep in touch. And I said, sure. So I gave her my number, and we connected with each other through text for about, I'd say, 3 months, texting each other, talking about our favorite Disney movies, how Michael Eisner is the devil, and how everything that Jim Henson touched was gold. So eventually, I came back to Mexico to visit her and go on a date with her. And we hit it off real well. It was my birthday around that time. She got me maracas and a sombrero. And I don't know what a sombrero is, but...
It's a hat, dear. It's a hat.
Papi, it's a hat. I put you in your head. I put it in your head like a crown, like my king, like my Mufasa.
I was
from
there.
The Lion King.
I
You
know.
said you're gonna be my Mufasa. And that's why I got you Simba.
I know! So, anyways...
All right.
She taught me the salsa, and I've never even eaten salsa, but apparently it's a dance in actuality. And
Yes, it is.
and a dip, which I've tried the dip. It's disgusting. But
Language, please. Language.
I'm sorry, I couldn't resist. But and my point is, we had a great time, and eventually I said, I'd love to see you again, to come back a third time. And she said, okay, Papi, that sounds wonderful. And so, by the time I came back, 2 months later, I was ready to ask the question, and I said to her, Camila Golpar, will you marry me? And she said she's pregnant. And I was like, asking myself, why did I do this? And then I looked at her stomach, and yeah, she looked bigger, and I sent her. I sent her when I was gone and back in the United States. I mailed her a bunch of cookies from Disneyland. I just assumed she ate them. I didn't think there was a baby involved, but it can't be mine because, for one, I've never had sex with her except that one time.
You are a liar. Since we look at each other, we were having sex. That's how it works in my culture.
I had sex one time, and there is no way she could be pregnant.
You don't know how biology works?
I was wearing a condom.
All right. So, Ms. Rampart, how do you remember this relationship?
Well, I remember differently. First of all, we met by an app. He was looking on Tinder in Mexico, and then he hit one of my friends. Do you remember Consuela? He met Consuela, and I was with Consuela because we didn't know who is this guy. Like, oh, this guy from America, blah blah blah. We don't know him. So we get together, and he started to hit me up. Like he was like with her, but he was looking at me, and since that moment, we look to the eyes, and that moment I got pregnant. I swear to God, that's how it works in my country. If you don't believe it, I don't care. That's how it works in my country.
Well, that's not quite how it works here, but there's a couple things. I don't know if you know how it works as well. So I'm going to ask you, did you two sleep together only one time? Is that true?
In my head, they were more times. It was, maybe he remembered one time, but I remember plenty of them because I think about you all the time, papi.
So are you saying that you guys only slept together twice?
No, we slept together many, many times, for sure. Yes, many, many times. He acts like he don't remember, but yes, I do remember, papi. What?
Yeah, I'm sure you do remember.
Yeah.
Because you're lying.
I'm not lying. No, I'm not lying.
All right, so he said he used protection. Is this true?
What kind of protection? What are you talking about?
Like condoms?
Condom? What is a condom? I don't use that kind of sombreros.
So no condoms, you're
No.
saying. So what's the longest amount of time he was ever in Mexico with you?
Plenty of times, plenty days. Actually, I have to finish my relationship with Consuela because of you, because the papi of my baby. I'm not talking to no more with
Relationship
Consuela.
with Consuela. She's the lady who robbed you.
Who robbed me? Who robbed? She was trying to rob you from me because you were mine since the first time I see you. And yeah, he's the baby, he's the father, he's the papi of my baby.
God.
Okay. So would you say, did you love him?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Even if he says that he's not the papi of my baby, I still love you.
Okay. And what about marriage? What happened? Why didn't you want to marry?
I say yes. I mean, when I say I'm pregnant, I think that's yes, right? Like, but then he was regretting it.
I see.
He don't want to be
regret-
responsible. That's
I
it.
regret, you're right, I do regret it. I regret meeting you.
Oh, come on.
All right. So what makes you think that the child is not yours?
Okay. For one, the baby looks nothing like me. For one, its ears are immensely tiny. Second, the baby is literally half Asian. It looks like Jackie Chan, a little demon of Machu Picchu mixed with the right.
Language, sir.
God, the baby is literally a trigonometrist. It is better at math than me, and she is 8 months old.
Okay. So now, do you believe that the baby doesn't look anything like him?
I mean, there's something that you guys really match. He said the baby has a tiny ears. Well, you have something that is really tiny too. And I
Okay.
don't.
You don't need to rub it
Okay.
in. Jesus.
So now, is there any true reason that this baby may not be his or looks like someone else?
The only reason that he don't want to be the papi of my baby is because he's still in love with Consuela. Yes, I need to check your messages and your phone and everything because I swear he has pictures. You guys FaceTime and everything. And let me tell you something. He said that your baby is Asian and he's not. You know what? Because there's no Asian people going to Mexico. Just you gringos.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you this. Mexicans go to Asia. They are like the tourists of the goddamn planet.
Okay, language, sir. Language, sir. And I would agree, however. I believe Asians go everywhere. I agree with that statement. Now, what are you prepared to do if the baby is yours, if you are the father?
Drown it.
Now, okay, and you're not trying to spend time in jail, are you?
I'll take it at this point.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but it's true. It is true. I would much rather go to prison than have to raise that little hellspawn. I mean it.
Okay. All right. Be mindful of what you say. You are on national television. Please be mindful of that.
I
Now-
hope they heard me.
Okay. Order. Let's just be quiet for right now. Thank you. All right, ma'am. If it turns out that he is not the father, what are you prepared to do? How are you prepared to handle that?
I prepared to fight for he accept his paternity. That's the only thing I'm prepared because you are the papi of my baby. Entiende, cabrón, que tú eres el papá del bebé. And learn some Spanish too.
Okay, I could have understood Spanish in that part. Is there anything you needed to say in English with what you just said?
I say that he's the father. He's the father. He's the papi of my baby. And if he thinks that he's not, and somebody says that he's not, and we get a test and he's not the father, I'm sure he's the father because I see you in the eyes. You're the papi of my baby. Accept that.
Okay, you two. In the case of our 1.5-year-old Shin, the paternity results are right here. Sir, in the case of our 1.5-year-old Shin, you are not the father.
Yes! Up yours! Up!
Okay, okay, that's enough. That's enough. All right, you got what you wanted. You were correct in this instance. You were correct.
Yes.
So, how do you feel about everything? How do you feel about these results?
Up yours!
I see.
Okay,
Pretty
order
good.
now. Refrain from that. Okay, that's your last one.
Okay.
Seriously.
Okay.
All right. And ma'am, how do you feel about everything?
I see what is happening right here, Honor. So you guys have something together, huh? Right?
Are you accusing
You
me
guys
of
have something. Yes.
with
I thought you
this?
were by my side, but no, you're sleeping with me,
I'm
right?
on the side of right, ma'am. I am on the side of
God,
right.
no.
And you know what? No, he couldn't handle all this. Now, I'm a judge, but no, he couldn't deal with this package right
So-
here.
I mean, I
Consuela,
just,
then
No.
the Honor, are you gonna have a baby with her?
And you too.
well, I'll tell you this. I just made a vow to never have sex again. So,
Wow,
Yeah.
that's gonna be a favor for the universe. You don't wanna have sex
Okay.
yeah,
with
it
him.
is.
All right, you two.
Remember
so
the tiny
again,
ears?
Yes, remember, remember. Just be educated. Educate yourself. Please protect yourself as you're out there, and don't fall for everything. Okay?
I was educated in Florida. That is the best education there is.
Oh, God.
Clearly
You didn't
not.
know what
That's
is
why
a
you're
sombrero.
here.
You didn't
All
know what
right,
is a sombrero.
ma'am.
Yes.
Okay, and for you, the child is going to need a family.
Yeah.
And you need to be mindful of not just running into everybody playing games. You have a child now, 1.5. It's time for you to get serious. It's okay if you meet somebody nice, whether they're Asian or whoever they are, and just go forward. Now, do you have any idea who the father could be? Because it looks like you need to seek that person out.
I know it's him. He's the papi. You just want to break my marriage. You want to break my house and my family.
I don't want your heart to be broken either. So I don't want
wanna
don't want to
keep
do any
him.
of those other things. I wish it were different according to, what you said, but it is not. These results are 99.9% correct. But you're going to have to deal with reality now. The reality is the paternity test says he's not the father. You need to move forward and plan to have a good life for this child. Now, if he were willing to have you, that'd be different. But it looks like he's done. He's washed his hands of this situation. So, in that instance, I wish you the best. Please make better choices, and definitely to you.
Say
Case
hi to
dismissed.
Yao Ming for me, bitch!
Okay, that's enough. Order.